What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne, and I am Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there, waiting to be played by you and yours. I'm a simple man, don't want a complication. Complication. How you guys doing out there? You have to excuse my voice. I'm at the tail end of fighting off a very bad head cold. It is the season for it, and I have fully recovered other than my voice, but it's getting there. And of course, the show must go on, and we already missed you guys last week. Now, the reason we missed you guys last week is because I had the last minute opportunity to go to Pax Unplugged over in Philadelphia. Now, for those not in the know, Pax Unplugged is a convention that is dedicated to tabletop board gaming. There were going to be a lot of publishers there selling their games and showing new games that are coming out. There were going to be some designers there that were going to be demoing their games and talking about their games, and there were going to be other content creators like myself that were going to be there. Content creators who have reached out and given me tips and advice since starting this channel a year and a half ago. And I really wanted to meet these guys face to face. Now, when I say last minute, I mean it was really last minute because I had originally planned to go like a couple months out, had already, switched my work days and all that, but it wasn't looking like it was going to be in the cards. And I was really bummed out about that. The week before the convention, I reconnected with a friend that I've known for like 20 years, Dwight. And his name is Dwight, rather. And we were talking about it. He's a graphic designer. And I've been trying to get him peaked, his interest peaked into using his skill set when it comes to board games. And I was telling him how bummed I was to not be able to go to PAX. So Thursday night before the convention, he called me and said, "Hey, do you still want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Let's go. Let's rent a car. Let's go." And I was immediately excited, So I talked to my wife. She had some things she had to take care of that weekend. So she was like, "You should go," And so Saturday morning, we got in the car, 4 o'clock in the morning, drove to Philadelphia. 9 hours there. Now, as you can see, the title of this video is, "Was the road trip to PAX Unplugged worth it?" I'm here to tell you it was worth every moment of it. First off, I got to reconnect, with my friend. We all have friends that, we keep in touch with, but, we all have our different separate lives and we're living them, but we try to make sure, hey, how you guys doing or whatever, always checking in on them. And this was one of those friends. And it was really fun to reconnect with him on this road trip. Of course, I've never been to Philadelphia. So seeing Philadelphia for the first time was amazing. The city is a beautiful, like old school historical city. When I got there, I immediately was like, we got to come every year. And my wife has to come because I know she would love seeing the city. I was able to get my very first authentic Philly cheesesteak, and I enjoyed it. It was really good. It was at this place called Gino's. So, but let's get to the convention. So, the convention was everything I thought it would be. Now, I first had to talk about games. I did pick up some games. I told my wife I'm on a budget, but there are 3 games that I have to get. And so, these are the games. I'm going to show you the games right now. So, the first one is an expansion to a game that has crept its way into my top 10 of all time, and that is Lost Ruins of Arnak. So when I got there, The CGE room was right there at the entrance, and I made a beeline and went in and bought Lost Ruins of Arnak Expedition Leaders. So this game brings asymmetric player powers. It brings new items, new artifacts. It also brings in two new temple boards, and it has new guardians to overcome. I was excited to get this game. I had to get this game into my possession. So that's the first game I bought. Second game is a game over at DeVere Games, and that is Lunar Capital. So I've heard this game talked about at great length by Jesse Anderson over on his Quackalope YouTube channel. And he talked about this and Land vs. Sea. And I acquired Land vs. Sea, and my wife and I both love Land vs. Sea. So I really wanted to check this one out. It looked like something I would really get into. In this game, you are building up your lunar city on the moon. So, and it's tile placement, which we both enjoy. So I had to grab that one. The third game I had to get is this one here, That Time You Killed Me. Now, we did a review for their last game was The Loop. And of course, I liked it. My wife not so much. That Time You Killed Me looks like a game that I'm really going to get into. It's an abstract game where you play as somebody who invented time travel. Two-player. The other person is trying to take you out and then claim the right that they invented time travel. So I'm looking forward to playing this one. All right. Now, those are the three games, but I did pick up a couple other things. The first thing I picked up is Picture Perfect. The expansion for Picture Perfect. I'm sorry. This is the 5 to 6 player expansion. So, usually I wouldn't play a game at that many player counts, but this game here, I could see this being a lot more fun with more players because everybody's doing their simultaneous play or whatever. And like I said, we did a review for Picture Perfect. We both love it. The last thing I got was something you're probably going to be surprised that I haven't gotten already. So, Everdell is probably my favorite game of all time. And I saw that they had a booth there, Tabletop Tycoon. And they had the big Ever Tree, and they had some of the other games. But the one thing that I had never got is the wooden Everdell tree. I am excited to break this out. I'm going to play Everdell today, just so I can break this tree out. As you can see from my past videos, my Everdell is upgraded. So I am looking forward to playing playing Everdell rather. So those are like I said, as you can see, I don't have a huge board game haul from PAX. But that wasn't the reason I was there. The reason I wanted to go is to meet these other content creators and just thank them for the advice, thank them for the support, and become part of the group rather. So, the content creators I met, first of all, I met Monique and Naveen from Before You Play. They have a YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel is called Before You Play, and they do thorough playthrough instructions and their review of their games. They're more heavier gamers, but they play a bunch of other games. And I have learned so much from watching their videos. And it was so fun meeting them in person. I met the Panda Angel herself, Amanda. She does Twitch streaming. And I met her in person. I connected with her on the Meepleville Meets over at Board Game Geek. And she brought cookies. She had some cookies. I was like so excited. Like, oh man, her cookies were great. Amanda, you make great cookies. I also met. Let me see. I wrote this stuff down. I met Jazz Cruz from over at Lobby of Hobbies. I met him before at Origins, but this time I met him. Saw him again, and I met his beautiful wife. Jazz. His YouTube channel is great. He's a family man, and he loves his. He shows his passion for board games in his videos. So you got to check him out. I met Nick, which is one half of the brothers Murph. They do Twitch streaming. They do some YouTube content, and I met him before at Origins in 2019. I know his brother Mike was there, but I didn't get to meet him, which I'm kind of bummed about. But there's the next time. Um, I also met Chris from the Charity Board Gamer. And I mean, he accepted me with open arms. He said, "Hey, you're coming to the mixer." Like they had a event Saturday night where all the content creators just got together and played games and congregated and just talked. Spent time with each other. And I was like excited to go to that. That was fun. I met Jason Perez. I met Aaron from Just Aaron. I saw him on um, over on Twitter, and I met him through Meepleville Meets. But the highlight, man, was meeting Mick and Starla from a little channel called Our Family Plays Games. Mick and Starla, they're doing it big over on their channel, and they all talk about diversity and inclusion in the hobby. And when I saw them, it was like seeing some family that I haven't seen in a long time. And the best part about meeting them was I got to meet their son Grant. Grant does the editing, all the editing for their videos. And if you've watched their videos, he is killing it. And I was able to connect with him because I do the editing for our videos, and we got to talking about other stuff like anime and maybe a couple video games. And I have to admit, I was getting kind of emotional, and some of you know why. It was great meeting all these guys in person. So, was going to PAX Unplugged worth it? Yes, every moment of it. Do I have any regrets? Yeah. One, I regret that my wife wasn't with me. Because, when I saw Mick and Starla immediately asked, "Where's Alicia?" I said she couldn't make it. Um, she texted Alicia, said, "Hey," took a picture, sent it to her, like, "Hey, guess who's together?" All that. And that was cool. I was really excited about that. Um, I'm bummed that there's some other content creators that I didn't get to meet in person. One, a couple of them, I didn't. I knew Blue Peg, Pink Peg was supposed to be there. I wanted to meet them in person. They have a bi-weekly podcast, and I listen to it all the time going to work. I didn't get to meet Mike, who's the other half of the brothers Murph. I didn't get to meet Jeff and Jamie from Foster the Meeple. They gave our channel a shout out, which got us more subscribers. And I watch their channel all the time. Their energy and their connection is really cool. And I didn't get to meet the guys from the Table Knots. Or I would have loved to meet Jeremy Howard from Man vs. Meeple. But I got everything I wanted from going to PAX Unplugged for just one day. And not even a whole day. Next time I go, I'm going for the whole convention. And my wife will be with me. We'll be checking out some of the food. There's a market near the PAX convention, the Pennsylvania Convention Center, that has a lot of these food venues in there. And of course, me and Lisa, we're both foodies. I loved every moment of it. So, since starting Blackboard Gaming, a year and a half ago, my goal has always been to introduce a wider audience to the wide variety of board games that are out there. You know, it was not so much as to bring people into the board game community. It was more so bringing board games to a wider community. You know, with that being said, though, I have become part of a board game community of, with these content creators, with these people who have a passion for board games. And I could see myself playing board games with these guys any day of the week. And I love it. I love it here. I love it. And I'm going to continue trying to introduce people to board games. And you're going to see me talk about board games that have already been talked about in great length. But what my goal is to hear a person say, "Hey, I didn't know they had a board game about selling cell phones." Or, "I didn't know they had a board game about running a coffee shop. I didn't know they had a board game about making a movie." If I can introduce more people to board games and then bring their board games into their house, because I'm pretty sure everybody plays games of some type, but I think it's a win-win for everybody. Publishers get to sell more of their games, designers, their name gets out, and maybe some of these people will come into the board game community and decide, "Hey, I want to be part of that community." And I'm telling you, I love it here. It's great. So, that's how I felt about PAX Unplugged. If you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you're feeling real in the holiday spirit, hit that subscribe button. And I loved it. PAX Unplugged was great. So I'm going to end this video with showing some of the sites, because my friend Dwight took a lot of pictures and he emailed them to me. So I'm going to put them up. And I'm Dwayne. I am Blackboard Gaming. And I will see you next time.